Welcome to New Stripe City, a podcast for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. We're live, bruh. We got a post. Still got a chance. So you telling me there's a chance? We have a chance. The Bengals just ripped off not one, but two wins. We pretty much figured they was going to beat Cleveland, bro. Let's just be real. But right now, we're in this race for the final AFC wild card spot. So there's two spots. Currently, right now, the Ravens are tied with the Houston Texans 7-7. So I'm hoping that they take this L tonight. Hopefully, Houston can do us a solid and eliminate them. Well, not eliminate them, but at least give us an edge to kind of leapfrog them in this process. But I'm cautiously optimistic because we all know, and rightfully so, we all know that our hopes somewhat hinge on this game coming up Monday Night Football on my birthday. All I want for my birthday is a Bengals win against the Steelers, bro, on Monday Night Football. But we need this. We need this. After a shaky start to the season, our Bengals have fought back, and I had to take my hat off to all of the players, to Andy Dalton. Definitely, I was one of the people with their pitchforks for Andy Dalton, and you can't really complain about how he's played. He's played very solid for a stretch. He hasn't thrown any interceptions. I'm a happy guy with Andy when he doesn't throw interceptions. I'm not by any means a Dalton lover, but as long as he's doing what it takes to actually put this team in the right place, I have no problem commending him. But again, this game comes down to not only the season, for a mental reason, the Bengals need to win this game so we can get over the mental hump of losing to the Steelers constantly, but also to stay alive. And this is the scenario, and you should never count your chickens before they hatch, and I'm not trying to do that. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm not gonna say that this is gonna happen or guaranteeing that this will happen. If the Bengals do win against the Steelers, let's hope that they can run the table. And even if they don't run the table, let's say they just drop one after the Steelers game and they go 9-7. A team that I would love to see us take on, and this might catch you guys off guard, but I had a feeling a couple weeks ago because I was so furious after the game. I would love to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nothing against the Jaguars. I think that they are having a great year. But I think recently you've started to see that teams have started to figure them out. And I think that their team, if you shut down a guy like Leonard Fournette, there really isn't much left to their team, like on offense in terms of that. Because when you put the ball in Blake Bortles' hands, as we saw yesterday, he will lose a game. And to me, what better team to play other than Jacksonville? It would be their first time going into the playoffs with Blake Bortles. I think you get a rematch between A.J. Green and Jalen Ramsey. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? But I would love for that to be the wild card match. More than likely, the Steelers will end up being the number 1 or number 2 seed. That's fine. That's cool, bro. Match us up with one of those. I think the biggest threats to us with this whole AFC garbage race for the last wildcard spot is definitely between us, the Chargers. I feel like the Ravens. I think those three teams, I think two of those teams make it. And that's just my opinion. I think two of them make it in. Other than that, let's talk about some positives from the Browns game. So obviously Joe Mixon, he finally had his coming out party. It was pretty tough. But, he did his thing. Andy Dalton did his thing. Tyler Boyd came out of nowhere with a touchdown catch. We haven't seen John Ross the last two games, but hey, who knows? Maybe we might see him for the Pittsburgh Steelers game. I don't know. I can't really say. But all in all, the offense is playing better. Against the Broncos, it was pretty sloppy, but we're starting to play a little bit more cohesive. We're getting an identity, which a lot of people, I'm still not a huge a huge Bill Lazor fan, but as long as he puts Andy in a position where he won't turn the ball over and we play smart football and we keep other guys involved. But I will tell you guys about the most underrated guy on this offense that's been the biggest surprise is Tyler Croft. When we lost Tyler Eifert, a lot of our hopes went down the drain in terms of finding another solid weapon across from Andy. But Tyler Croft has done his thing. Tyler Croft has done his thing, man. And like I said, I'm the type of person where if I'm wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and gloat and hold my opinion. If you prove me wrong, bro, you prove me wrong. And Tyler Croft, you have proved me wrong, sir. You have been balling. Who else? Andy Dalton is back balling. He's not going super him, but he's not turning the ball over. He's, I've liked what I've seen so far from him. He made me frustrated earlier in the year with some of his play, but now he's starting to get it together. Let's talk about the offensive line, man. The last 2 games, the offensive line has played pretty good. Let's just be real. No sacks against the Denver Broncos were given up by Cedric Ogbuehi. No sacks. And then you talk about last game. I mean, of course, you're going to have the number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, get pressure, but it really wasn't like that, bro. It really – and then, like, when you compare the 2 teams, comparing the pressure that we've gotten with Carl Lawson, who should be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year easily. Dude actually might break Carlos's record. When you talk about Carlos, Chris Smith, all those dudes, Gino, they had a sack party. And if you were to compare the 2 offensive lines before that game, and if you were to say who would have the more sacks, you would probably think that, the Cleveland Browns would, because our offensive line is trash, and they have so many notable names outside of Joe Thomas being hurt on that offensive line. So the fact that we came in there and made a statement was cool. Defense has been solid. We don't bend, we don't break, but we still do what we can to come in and control the game. And I think that's going to be crucial down the stretch. AJ Green was AJ Green. He did what he needed to do. Thinking back, am I missing anything? No, that's not really it, man. But you guys stay tuned. As usual, I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday. Make sure you get in the comments, subscribe, let me know what your thoughts are. But yeah, we on to Pittsburgh, man. Before I get too hyped, we zoning in on Pittsburgh for sure.